Well, it's been a few hours, about 3 hours since the game ended, and here we are. The hell just happened? What the heck happened out there? We're gonna talk about it, so here we go. Welcome, everybody. This is the Redzone Report right here on the Built in Buffalo YouTube, X, and Facebook channel. And we got to watch our beloved Bills get their get their shit pushed in. Okay, they got destroyed on live TV, down 16-0 going into the fourth quarter, or 16-0 going into half. Let's see. Nope, into the fourth quarter, 16-0. And then the Bills' offense came to life a little bit, scored 13 points, but allowed 14. So even if it was 0-0 going into the fourth quarter, they still beat us. Unacceptable performance by this team. The offense looked sluggish and like crap. The defense, looked solid for the most part. But Jesus. That was wild. My man Kim, that was horrible. It was. They looked sluggish and just not interested. Could be. I don't want to give them any excuses. Not a single excuse goes to this team. They let us down today. It was pretty rough. See, Sandra, as always, good evening. Go Bills. See, time for change. Receivers, no separation. Josh running around, no help, no run game. Cook, how come he not in passing formation? They threw to Cook a couple times, but yeah, the game plan sucked. Josh looked like crap. The receivers, some of them were open, some of them got open, but Josh didn't look like Josh. Like he hasn't in all three of our losses this year. He doesn't look like himself. It's rough, and I don't like what I'm seeing out of him right now, but. Yeah. Horrible game indeed, and crazy loss, but still believe. I'm with you. Just because they lost doesn't mean I don't believe in this team anymore. Like they're going to lose every now and then from time to time. The Eagles last year won a Super Bowl. They lost a couple games. They lost more than the Chiefs did, even beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Those two losses the Chiefs had all season. The Eagles had more losses, and they still won the Super Bowl. I still believe in our Bills, but I'm upset. I'm highly upset. This is not a team that, if you play like that in the playoffs, that you're going to win by any stretch of the imagination, because you lost like that to the freaking Dolphins. What the heck is going on? Down is up and up is freaking down, everybody. I mean, the Bills lost 30-13. 30-13. This game was to tie the series all time between these teams. And I don't care about that as much as simply just winning the game, but that's a thing. Right? That's a little nugget that the Dolphins have to hang their hat on for a little bit. Next year we have to tie it, right? Because we have to win 2 times next year, because they were 1 game ahead today, then we lost. They went up 2 games again. Now we have to beat them twice next year to tie the series. It's upsetting. Devin Achane, 22 carries, 174 yards. They couldn't lay a hand on the kid. 7.9 yards per carry. 2 touchdowns. Dude went off. Then through the air, another 6 catches, 50 yards. Jalen Waddle, 5 catches, 84 yards, 1 touchdown. We never give up numbers like that to the Dolphins' number 1 receiver. Ever. Never, ever, ever. And we did today. Tua had a pedestrian day, 15 to 21, 173, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They still scored 30. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing how we lost this game. And if you look at Josh's numbers, you're like, oh, well, his numbers were solid, 28 to 40. Okay, good completion percentage, almost 75%. 306 yards through the air. Yep. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Okay. If you watch that game, those stats don't hold any kind of water at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should be without saying. And it's frustrating to watch. Sandra, Josh isn't happy, and it shows he didn't trust his receivers. I think this is more of a Josh issue than a receivers issue as of right now. I don't think this is much on them because I saw plays where they were open, and he just wasn't getting them the ball. He was waiting for too long to let the ball out. He needs to make his decisions faster because his receivers, they're not that good, right? But if they're open, then they should get the ball, right? So Josh has to stop dancing around back there and start delivering the ball because he's not doing what he should be doing. For a guy who threw the ball 40 times today, we're sitting here complaining about the receivers. You know, the ball he threw to Keon Coleman for the touchdown, great ball. And then he has another opportunity to hit him for a touchdown on the other side. The ball is just short. Like the corner put his hands on it. But if he hits Keon Coleman in stride, that's a touchdown probably. If the O-line doesn't screw up and Josh doesn't have a blitzer in his face, I think it was Ifeatu Melifonwu, safety at Syracuse, who I do like because he's out of Syracuse, but I don't like now because he's a Dolphin. If Josh delivers that ball to Shakir in stride, that's a touchdown. This offensive line did not protect. The receivers got open sometimes, but not that much, not consistent enough for people to really hold Josh to the fire too much, but I'm gonna. And Josh just not making the decision. Right? Cook couldn't get going. It was a rough day for him. How do you go and you play Kansas City? They come to Buffalo, right? We didn't go to Kansas City, but Kansas City comes to Buffalo. And then we run it down their damn throats. And then we go to Miami and we Amber Heard the bed. That's absurd. It's absurd. And any criticism this team gets is warranted. I'm not a fire McDermott guy. I'm not a fire Brady guy. I'm not a fire Babbage guy. I'm not that guy, right? I don't push those types of narratives. But right now, I'm not going to sit here and criticize or judge anybody who is saying that. I'm not going to do it. Because that was a masterclass in how to not coach. That was a terrible game. It was a terrible game. And for anybody to say the refs anything, I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. In my opinion, the refs called as fair a game as I've seen in a while. So that excuse is off the table. You look at the Bills in the AFC East, we're second behind the Patriots. If we win today and the Patriots win today, we're still second, but we're like half a game behind, right? If we win today and they lose today, well, we take the lead in the division. Well, we lost and they won. So here we are, second place, and we need more help to win this division. We might not win this division, guys. We might not win this division. And you know what? As of right now, we don't deserve to. As of right now, we don't deserve to. So hopefully this team picks their stuff up and gets it right. Kim, and the thing is, all three of our losses shouldn't have been losses to those teams. Yeah, agreed. See, what happened to Cook? Couldn't get anything going. I know. The O-line had a real bad day. It was in Miami. You know, maybe they all went drinking last night and Maybe this is a varsity blues situation, and Coach Kilmer's like, I hope last night was fun, boys. It could be that, but again, I'm not giving this team any excuses. They could have all been drunk out there during the game. Still should have beat the freaking Dolphins. Still should have beat the damn Dolphins. But hey, teams are going to go through little trials and tribulations, and we'll see what happens. But man, this one hurts. This one sucks. It stinks. Stinks to high hell. I don't like it, but it is what it is. So the Bills made Miami look all world. They did. They did. Especially Devin Achane. Like, boy went off. See, our opportunity for a Super Bowl win are over with Josh. He isn't getting any younger, so his career is wasting away. He's got plenty of time, man. Quarterbacks play till they're 40 sometimes now. He's 29. Probably got a good 6 or 7 more years of good Josh Allen. See, I'm a very positive fan, but I am tired of avoiding it. Joe Brady is the problem. Great players make him better. He makes nobody better. He made Diggs less than mediocre and is the real issue. You know, Steve, you might be right. You might be right. No, it is what it is. The offense doesn't look good. Every other week, they don't look good. They'll look good, and then they'll look bad. And they'll look good, and then they'll look bad. And they'll look good, and then they'll look like you can't win a championship like that. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. See, no offense, no defense. Season is over. You know what? It might be over, like in the sense that we make the playoffs and don't do much because the team is just what the team is. If that's the case, this offseason, I expect changes. I expect coordinator changes. I expect experienced NFL coordinators to be our coordinators next year. You know, the youth movement was nice and all, and it looked good last year. And we almost did, something good last year, but this year it stinks. It stinks. Bills are going to have to make a big trade for a receiver, in the offseason because they couldn't get it done at the deadline. Here we are. It sucks. It's god awful. But it's an eye opener. Maybe the team can pick up their crap and get this thing back on track again. But losing to the Dolphins at this point is inexcusable. It's inexcusable. And you call it a trap game. I'll take that. Trap game, fine. But, oh, Lord have mercy. Like, I don't know what to say, what to call it, but it's terrible. That's the best thing to call it. Terrible. See, Dwayne Sticks Willis is the play calling. I knew it was going to be a long day when we came out passing. We play better when we establish physicality. That's true. We do. But our offensive line wasn't doing anything in the run game or the pass game. And so I think that it starts there. Like last week when we beat the Chiefs, what happened, right? Our offensive and defensive lines dominated. They dominated. Our offensive line dominated Patrick Mahomes. We sacked him 7 times, I think it was. Pressured him like 15. We got 0 sacks on Tua today. 0 sacks on Tua. Pressured him a couple times, but no sacks? Come on. Something's got to give. And terrible penalties. Like, we have that interception from Max. He goes to run it back, and Javon Solomon just blasts their corner in the back. Like, dude, Max is going to get 15, 20 yards. And he did, and they called it back. And just a terrible day. Like, all around terrible day. See, terrible coaching, couldn't run the ball, stop the run, pass, horrible game. Indeed. The coaching was terrible. Terrible coaching. Okay, yep. Pass. Doesn't help a lot of injuries. Joe Brady went and reconstructed contract and didn't get anyone. Yeah. Joe Brady didn't do that. That's Brendan Bean. But I know who you mean. See, can't turn the ball over 3 times and expect to win. Agreed. Even James Cook got into the action, fumbling the ball away. And whoever it was that was pushing Josh Allen, the man needed to go down. He needed to go down. He needed to hit the dirt. We had the first down. And for some reason, they thought we was going to score all them points back in one play. Like, we're just going to drag Josh all the way to the end zone. No, you're giving people a shot at Josh. You're putting your quarterback in danger at that point. You're an offensive lineman. I think it was Deion Dawkins. You need to protect your quarterback, which means he goes down. And, yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. It was exciting while it was happening until the ball comes out. Then we're like, well, shit, there it is. Shakir wasn't used enough, or correctly, by the way. He did slip on that 2-point conversion attempt, but what would that have done? He was in the backfield, and he was doing his motions, and he slipped and busted his ass. I don't even know if that was the direction he was supposed to go in. I do not know if he was supposed to go that way, or if he just went that way because he, fell and just had to make something happen. And then he gets to the, 6-inch line or whatever you want to call it, and Minkah Fitzpatrick's he's just a good safety. He's a really good safety. And he made Khalil Shakir pay right there at the goal line. Indecisiveness. And the thing is, if we win this game, the show isn't what happened. The show isn't what the heck happened. The show is what is the Bills' route to the 1 seed? Or what is the Bills' route to winning the division? Well, that route just got a lot harder. We got some tough teams. We got the New England Patriots again. We've got the Buccaneers next week, who are going to be pissed because they just got their butts whooped by the Patriots. We have the Eagles still. It's not going to be an easy way to win this division if we can win it. So we're going to have to see. See, if the original scripted plays do not work on offense, we are done. We need to hire an OC that puts the offense out of their comfort zone. Use the things that are positive, but bring something new. Can't say I disagree. See, Tony Mafia 10, wondering if players are just happy to be here and run the plays coaches asked without actually having input. I have no idea what that is, if that's the case or not, but we'll see. We have to stop treating Coleman like a one-trick pony and throw him some regular passes, not just jump balls and back shoulders. Agreed. Today he ran an out route. He caught the ball. 5 yards. Give us some more of that. Give Coleman some more of that. Let him run some normal freaking routes. Let him run some slants. Let him run some outs. Let him run some zags. Let him run some not. Well, he runs enough 9 routes for that, but some posts, some corners. Some ends. Like, give the man a little bit more to his route tree, and maybe he'll catch more freaking footballs. But watching this game plan, I can't blame Keon Coleman. I can't do it. We threw him that jump ball. He caught it, and he dragged the defender freaking 10 yards into the end zone. He was sitting there straddling the outside line. We can sit here and say that Keon Coleman can't play? No, you got to put him in position to play. And if you keep putting him in position to where it's jump ball, 50-50 ball, and he only catches 50% of the passes thrown his way, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? It's not his. You put him in that position to succeed 50% of the time. One seed isn't happening. I think this fan base needs to recalibrate its expectations straight up. You, sir, might be right. You might be right, man. Because this right here, this ain't it. See, I'm just seeing constant screens, runs up the middle, a lot of easily identifiable plays. It's hard to say they are making changes on offense to actually get production of those players. This is coaching, bros. It is coaching. Hey, Miss Nancy, how you doing? Well, you haven't missed anything but me being angry on the show because this is some nonsense, Miss Nancy. But we still love you. I was glad to see that you went to the game last week with Lance. Me and my wife were actually thinking about going to this game in Miami. Glad we didn't. Glad we didn't drive 12 hours to Florida from North Carolina, where I live at, to go watch this garbage of a game. So glad. Hopefully the game in Cleveland is better because I'm actually going to that game. We have tickets to that game. My wife got them for me for our anniversary. Very happy for that. It's going to be cold because it'll be December 21st, but I'm from Rochester. I'll be all right. But so frustrating. So frustrating. Miss Nancy, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. The Dolphins scored in the second half, but with the amount they scored in the first half, they still would have won. So they scored enough in the first half and second half to beat us no matter what we scored, or no matter when we scored our points. It was a terrible game. You didn't miss much the second half. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Running for the Bills, we had less than 90 yards rushing. 53 from Cook, 31 from Josh, 4 from Mitch Trubisky, 2 from Ty Johnson, -1 from Elijah Moore, and -2 from Ray Davis. Khalil Shakir led the team in receiving yards and receptions with 7 receptions, 58 yards, 9 targets. He should have seen the ball more. Keon Coleman, 3 receptions, 46 yards, a touchdown. He should have seen the ball more. And this is coaching, but it's also execution. Mostly coaching. If I had to say how much of this is on the coaching and how much is this on the players today, I'd say 70% on the coaches and 30% on the players because there were plays to be made and they didn't make them. But when the plays are there to be made on such a low percentage of the plays that are called, yeah, if you don't make the ones that are makeable count, well, you basically multiply your chances of losing, and that's exactly what happened today. This is mostly on coaching, guys, and there's no way around that one. This is a horrible game. The coaches can pick it back up. They're not the players, right? They're the coaches. They can come up with a better game plan and fix this. But that's why it's so frustrating, is because we went out there last week and we beat the hell out of Kansas City in every sense of the word other than the score. We only won by 7. Today, we got dominated, and the score showed it. The score showed it. We lost by 3 scores to the freaking Dolphins. 3 scores. See, the Bills team from the KC game didn't show up today. That's true, right? But we also were missing some players. Still, no excuses, right? Beating the season, Max Hairston was out. Christian Benford and Trey White were playing, and neither one of them really played that great. You go to PFF, check out their ratings there. Not great, right? Max Hairston comes in. He's our best corner right now. And people had questions about Max Hairston coming out of the draft. I am lacking questions about Max Hairston. I'm lacking questions now about Cole Bishop. He's playing a lot better. Cam Lewis out there in the slot, playing better than Taron Johnson right now for the season. Cam Lewis is playing pretty well. Today, the D-line played like ass. The linebackers played like ass. Jordan Poyer didn't play great today. Like, it is what it is. Awful game. First half stunk. Yep, well, I know Miss Nance, but the second half wasn't much better. I mean, we scored, so that's better. But, yeah, this team looked uninspired. They looked unprepared, and they looked unequipped to be a freaking Dolphins team that we already beat. Oh, we split with the Dolphins. Hopefully we can split with the Patriots and, salvage the division and get a decent spot hosting a game in the playoffs. Because if we have to go to Indianapolis or we have to go to Kansas City, which they're not even in right now, so we'll see. I mean, if we're not the 1 seed and having a home game, then, we'll see what happens to them. Because they already lost to the Chargers. They got to play them again. And they have the Denver Broncos still to play. I think twice. And the Broncos are playing pretty well. And if I'm correct, they are on their bye week this week. Let's see. Tonight's game is... Tomorrow is Philly, Green Bay. Tonight is Steelers, Chargers. Nope, Denver played today. They played Thursday. 10-7. So they're coming off of a mini bye, not a bye. Awful. See, the whole team and the coaching staff missed the flight to Miami. Agreed. See, you're definitely right. The Bills were outcoached. They were outcoached. They were outplayed. They were out everything. Let's be real here, right? The coaches call the plays, but it's the offensive line's job to block. How good were they blocking? Not good. Not good at all. Horrible. It's the coach's job to call plays, but it's the quarterback's job to deliver the ball. Coach's job to call plays, player's job to run the ball. You see what I'm saying? Now, the play calling was bad, but the receivers and the running backs, in my opinion, don't deserve as much of the criticism. But Josh Allen, that O-line today, just were not there. The O-line was awful, Josh was awful, and the coaching was awful in both major phases of the game, defense and offense. You allow 30 points, you should lose. And we allowed 30 points, and we lost. See, I think the frustrating thing is watching the NFL MVP look this way on the sidelines. He literally looks defeated. He is taking all the blame in post-game interviews. It's literally insane to watch. Yeah. However, he does deserve some of this blame. While I agree with that point, he does deserve some of this blame. It's on him. He's got to be better too. McDaniel won't be getting fired this week. He's going to be there for the rest of the season. They can lose the rest of their games. They won't fire him to the end. Elijah Moore was very underutilized. He had 2 huge 60-catch seasons with the garbage team, with the garbage QB. Why can he not do that with JA-17? Look up in the booth. Agreed. See, we got bullied by the softest team in the league. I don't know about the softest team, but they're pretty soft. They're definitely top 5 softest. But today they look hard as shit. Dolphins are trying to stay hard in these streets. They just lost their GM and they're playing for their coach's career. And I hope we can turn around and start playing back to our expectations. Agreed. We need to, because this was doggy do. So, do you think we should get rid of McDermott, Brandon Beane, and Joe Brady? Maybe Joe Brady. I don't think you get rid of a GM and head coach who built a team that wins, goes to the playoffs every year, has won a division almost every year they've been here, and are potentially 1 or 2 players away from getting there. I know a lot of people will argue against that, and that's fine. We can have different opinions, still have the same team. But yeah, Brandon Beane this offseason, it's move-making time. It's move-making time. And McDermott, it's time to get this coaching staff right. You want to get an offensive coordinator who can run the ball? Cool. Get one that can run the ball, but who can also pass the ball. Right? We need to find ourselves a Josh McDaniels type of offensive coordinator who is a genius out there doing that. But, yeah. So what do you think the answer is for this team's lack of results? I know it's a big issue, but where do you start with it? As of right now, it's coaching. And answer, I don't know. Because I think that if we fire McDermott and Beane, and you try and start new with another head coach and GM, I don't know if anybody's going to want to come back to Buffalo. I don't know if I would, but there's that. But I love the way that Beane and McDermott work together. But this next offseason is probably going to be a big reset. You probably see a large contingent of Bills players being released whose contracts are just not holding up anymore, like Curtis Samuel. He'll be out of here. Yeah, there'll be some players that are just allowed to walk away or be released from their contracts to save money, so that way they can make a move in off-season free agency. Because yeah. See, clean house, yes, get rid of all of them. I'm not with you on that, but I like I said earlier in the show, I'm not against your comment. I'm not against your comment at all. You have the right to feel this way right now. You You have the right to feel this way right now. I will not criticize you feeling this way at all right now, because I'm pissed off to the point where I'm like, someone's gonna have to go. So yeah, cleaning house I think would be a mistake, but I think Josh Allen's gonna have a big say in a lot of that. So just asking because I would like to win a Super Bowl. I would too. It's not a very easy thing to do, but it's hard. It's hard being a Bills fan too sometimes. Like BS like we saw today. So yeah, Bean gets fired way before McD. I don't know about that. I think that if Bean gets fired, McDermott might see himself out. I mean, they could always go after like a Dan Morgan, who's the assistant GM in Carolina who was here before, or they could maybe look for another really good GM, maybe someone off Howie Roseman's staff. It's pretty nice over there in Philly with all the talent they got. So we'll see. Yeah, that's been said the last few seasons. Haven't happened. Hey, it is what it is. What do we do? So, what is up with all the panicky people I am seeing on here? Have y'all forgotten the very sound defeat? Yeah, look, we've seen that, right? We also just watched the very sound ass whooping that we received from the Miami Dolphins, right? So, while the Bills deserve a lot of credit for dominating the Chiefs last week, they also deserve a lot of blame for getting their butts whooped this week against the Miami Dolphins, right? So I'm not with all the fire, everybody, and doom and gloom, but I'm pissed, right? I'm pissed. And so being pissed, I'm going to let them have it. Let them have their fire, everybody, because this team has just lost a level of respect from this fan base. Now, I still respect the head coach, GM. I'm losing some respect, or actually quite a bit of respect for Joe Brady and his ability to use the talent on his team, because there is talent, but that was embarrassing today. We as Bills fans deserve better. I mean, most fan bases deserve better, not Jets fans, but we've stuck with this team through thick and thin. The drought years, losing 4 Super Bowls, we're still here, and that's kind of bred into our DNA. We didn't choose the Bills; they kind of chose us. We love having them, and yeah. Can they turn us around, go into Super Bowl? Yeah, they could. Does it look like that right now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Could it happen? Yeah. Is it? If you ask me after last week, my confidence is way higher. You ask me after this week, well, that confidence took a Mark McGwire line drive to the freaking head. See, I've noticed McD not protecting people as much in interviews this year. He took a lot on his shoulders that he may not deserve. True, but he still did pick the staff, so his responsibility either way. Although I do like he's holding Joe Brady's feet to the fire. That's important, but still, yeah. I agree with this comment for the most part. See, we will be okay. We just had a bad game, and plus the injuries really what's killing us. The injuries are killing us, but still, like some guys who were looking really good aren't coming back, like Michael Hoyt, right? Ed Oliver's not coming back. Those are 2 big pieces, 2 big guys. We missed Christian Benford today, I'll tell you that, but still. The team has to drive on. The next person has to come up, and they have to play well. Look at the team right now, right? We lost Taron Johnson. I wouldn't say that we missed him today. Right? They restructured him. I don't know if they keep him after this year. His injuries are stacking up. Like inexcusable. Inexcusable. Let me see if I can find something real quick. Because, yeah, this... With the way Cam Lewis played today in the slot, I don't know if they really miss Taron Johnson after this year. Taron Johnson is signed through 2027. And there is a potential out in his contract this offseason. Right? They restructured him the other day. As of right now, if they were to release Taron Johnson this offseason, he would save us. Let's see. His cap hit next year is 11. Would save like $2 million. Right? But if you can have Cam Lewis, at 2,000, $1 to $2 million a year, and he's playing better, why not? Because this is embarrassing. See, the ownership won't get rid of anyone. See the Sabres. So didn't they just get a new head coach last year, the year before? I'm so sick of the injury excuse. I'm with you there. I've heard, but our defense is injured every single year for the last 4. At this point, it's a feature, not a bug. Might be right about that. It might be, this will be Matt Milano's last year, and I love Matt Milano, right? But the injuries have piled up, right? It's time for some new blood. Time for some new blood. And strangely enough, the only people who aren't getting injured this year that you expected to is Joey Bosa. Crazy. See, all of you whiny fans need a reality check. No fans are on the team. They aren't on the field of play, nor are they on the Bills admin. Fans can voice opinions, but it has zero effect on the team. I don't know if that's true. Like if the team watched this video and they saw the comments, they may have something in their feelings. They may not, but we don't know that for sure. But it is their chance to gripe, right? We just lost the game. It's fresh in our minds. We can let them have their moments of anguish, and then, we'll see what happens next week. We see Tampa next week. They're beatable. See, the run game is our strength, not Josh. We have 3 capable backs. I don't know about that. We should have 30 more rush attempts every game. I do agree with that. We have 2 capable backs in this offensive scheme, right? I would say Ray Davis is capable, but the way this scheme has been driven this year, he's not a fit anymore. Last year, he was fine. Freaking 4.5 a carry, 4.1 a carry last year. That's fine. 4 yards a carry is fine. That's 3 runs and a first down. Completely content with that type of production. The way he's been used this year is absurd. I just think the injuries are real, but how do other teams seem to figure it out? Chiefs made the Super Bowl last year without their number 1 receiver. It just feels like the management can't adapt when they need to. It's not. The best way I can say this is that they're not putting their players in the best positions to win, which is exactly what you're saying. They are not utilizing their talent to the maximum effect. That's what's up. Guys who were described in other comments, like Elijah Moore, should see the ball more. Keon Coleman should be getting better routes than what he's getting. This is a hard watch today. It was a hard watch today. I know everybody here agrees with that. That was pretty disgusting. See, with Oliver out, it really makes a difference. Hoyt was wrecking the past 2 games after suspension, and then he tore his Achilles on a freak play, which is crazy, but I would say that there are players out there in free agency who might be able to help, and maybe there are. Maybe there are free agents out there who could potentially help. I don't know if that's the case or not, but if I'm looking at defensive line, if I go interior defensive line, oh no. Let's see. NFL free agents. $2025. Okay, Spot Track, you're not helping. We'll hit over the cap then. Let's see. Free agency tracker. Man, neither of these websites are helping out with this. That sucks. Here we go. I have to freaking Google it. Defensive line. Nope. Whatever. We'll forget about it. But yeah. Oliver's out. Maybe somebody like Sebastian Joseph Day, who has been a Bill before. Maybe bring his butt back. Maybe he's still got some juice in the tank. He's a big boy. Put him and Deion Walker back on that line, obvious run plays. We'll see what happens. See, the organization needs to take a look at their practices. All teams have injuries, but 90% of ours have been on the defensive side of the ball. Are the prototypes they seek more susceptible to injury? This kind of goes back to an idea that I've had about the NFL changing, right? Because we say it's a passing league, right? But if you look at the last couple of Super Bowl teams, the Chiefs and the Eagles, they've won with a run, right? Pacheco, when they won the Super Bowl with them, Pacheco like balled out. And then last year, Saquon just murdered in the Super Bowl, right? So the running game seems to be coming back, which tells me that the smaller linebacker is kind of a dying breed. You know, the Matt Milanos, the Terrell Bernards, the 225-pounder. You're seeing a lot more of the bigger guys have resurgences, especially the older ones now. You're looking at Bobby Wagner, who looks pretty dang good. You look at Dre Greenlaw. You know, you're looking at these bigger linebackers, 235, Tremaine Edmonds. You know, like that type of linebacker is making a comeback in the NFL because that physicality and ability to hit and not injure yourself while doing it, it seems to be on the rise. It seems to be on the way back in. So because of the way the game is being played now, with all these guys being small and fitted to defend the pass, now teams are figuring out, well, let's just run the freaking ball. Jonathan Taylor, for example. Saquon Barkley just started, you know, having some success. Christian McCaffrey. Like these running backs are starting to eat again. And it's because defenses got light. And so now offenses are going heavy. Look at the games we've won. We've won running the freaking ball. James Cook, right? James Cook last week ran the ball all over those guys. Why? Well, because our offensive line dominated in the trenches, and those lighter linebackers, you know, just aren't able to really get to the running back anymore. If you look at the Chiefs game last week, right? Bills played the Chiefs, and we beat them. When we ran the ball, who did we run the ball at? You know what I'm saying? Like, who did we run that ball towards? So if we look at the box score of that game, I know the answer to the question. I'm just seeing if anybody else here has it. They ran heavy towards the nickel, and they ran heavy towards the basically away from Chris Jones. Right? They ran to the lighter side of the line. They ran towards Karlaftis a bit in certain periods, but they also kept it to wherever Chris Jones wasn't, that's where they ran the ball. Now, the Chiefs have some big linebackers, and we still ate. This is kind of an anomaly when it comes to my theory, but it's yeah. I think we need Gabe Davis back. You know what? I'm for it. Bring him back. Couldn't hurt. At least he knows the system. Gabe Davis. Here's a question about that, because we know Gabe can play the X, he can play the Y, he can play the Z, He can play every single receiver position. Is he great? No, it's not great, obviously. But he knows how to play them. And if we look at 2023, let's see, 2023. His last year in Buffalo, 45 receptions, 746 yards, 7 touchdowns. I would take a little bit of that this year. I would take it. I would accept the gesture. Thank you, Gabe Davis, for being our potential savior of a wide receiver this year, because the guys who we got in there, some of them are getting open, but Josh doesn't know a lot of them. This is Josh Allen's first year with Elijah Moore and Joshua Palmer. Now, it's his second year, with Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel experiment has not worked out. He's also another slot receiver. Send him somewhere. You know? If you can trade him for a 7th-round pick the following year, this offseason, do it. Get what you can out of him. But that contract needs to be off our books this offseason. So do we sit Keon for a game and just see what we have in Samuel and Moore? I think we need to look at different options. And as long as Keon is out there, I think they will try to validate him. I don't know if that's what's going on so much as they're not using him properly. Like, he's a big slot guy, but you're not going to take Khalil Shakir off the field for Keon Coleman to be in a slot. Are you? I mean, I probably would on run plays, and maybe that'd be a better run blocking fit. And then every now and then you have him, do something with that. I honestly think the Bills should move more to a bigger package and stick with tight ends. Right? Put tight ends out there. Our tight ends are capable of beating linebackers, and if you go big, the run game becomes easier. If the run game becomes easier, guess what they're going to do? They're going to start loading the box. And what do you do then? Kincaid, Hawes, Knox. I think that the answer to this is going to be tight ends, more tight ends, because we have talent at tight end. We have a ton of talent at tight end. Dawson Knox is a former 800-yard guy at tight end for a few years. Sat right between 700 to 800 yards and like 7 to 8 touchdowns every year. Now he's relegated to like 250 yards and on 20 catches. Use your tight ends. Use them, because they're getting open more than the receivers are. Let's see. I wouldn't trade Bernard and Knox's contract to have Edmonds back. Oh, I would trade Bernard and Knox's contract to have Edmonds back. His size and physicality changed the game, even if he didn't get on the stat sheet. I don't disagree. And he's playing lights out right now. And a lot of people wanted him gone because, well, I don't care if he's young. He's not producing. He's been in the NFL for 5 years now. It's like, all right, well, now we're seeing we're wrong, because now he's making splash plays in Chicago, intercepting passes and taking them downfield, like far. That nature of his, that physical nature, it might be time to move back to the big linebackers, baby. Big and fast and strong, like they intended for Tremaine to be. He's now a 25-year-old man, I think. Think about that. Josh Allen and Tremaine Edmonds have been in the NFL at the same amount of time, and I think Tremaine Edmonds is 25 years old. Okay. He's 27. He still has another year or two before he hits his physical freaking prime. He's got 4 interceptions this year. 37 solo tackles, one sack, and 4 interceptions this year. Can anybody here tell me they don't miss Tremaine Edmonds right now? You know what? Signed Edmonds jersey. Ta-da! Your boy's back. Put me in, coach, because that is crazy. Crazy. LOL, y'all beat the Chiefs but can't beat the Dolphins. Hey, we suck. You know what? The criticism, I'll take it. I got a buddy of mine who's a Patriots fan. He texted me today. He said the Patriots are balling and the Bills suck. And I'm like, today, definitely. Like, you're not going to get an argument from me today, because today you're 100% correct. So there you go. You are correct today. Let's see what happens going forward. But that was terrible. So yeah, bro, Knox has a governor on him. It's so frustrating to watch. He was legit. Then Kincaid was available. Yeah, you can run 2 tight ends. Look what the Chiefs do with Noah Gray and Travis Kelce. Look what the Buccaneers do with their tight ends. You can run 2 tight ends. Look what. Okay, I'm not gonna use the Raiders as an example. They have 2 good tight ends in Mayer and in Brock Bowers, but they suck overall. So. And they don't put up any points, so I'm not going to use them as an example. But look what the Ravens, Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. There are examples of this across the entire league, and we're out here not using our biggest assets. We're not using our biggest assets. Freaking. Let's see, receiving for the Buccaneers. Cade Otton is their 3rd best receiver right now. They're not using their 2nd tight end at all. So wrong about them. Chiefs. And I know some people might think this is a bad example because Chiefs aren't having a great year, but they've done this for many years now. For many years. Travis Kelce leads them in receiving for 540 yards. That's tight end 1. Okay. Then you go down the list, Noah Gray. He has another 100 yards. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Let me see what our tight ends look like. I'm willing to bet they're probably doing better than I think, but they should be doing more. They should be being used for more. Our Dalton Kincaid leads us in receiving yards, 411 receiving yards. I'm not surprised. Number 1 receiver right now, Dalton Kincaid, 33 targets, 27 receptions, 411 yards, 4 touchdowns. Our next best is Khalil Shakir, 49 targets, 38 receptions, 399 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Next, Keon Coleman, 41 targets, 29 yards, or 29 catches, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns. Next, Joshua Palmer. After that is Dalton Kincaid, 14 targets, 9 catches, and a touchdown for 118 yards. Then you have Elijah Moore, 6 catches, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. Or excuse me, yeah. James Cook, 15 targets, 13 catches, 100 yards, no touchdowns through the air. After that is Jackson Hawes, 9 targets for 7 receptions, 87 yards and a tutty. 2 tutties if you count today, because these numbers are not even updated yet. Use the tight ends. Our linebacker play sucks. It does. It does. Suddenly seems like the Terrell Bernard sighting was not great. He played really good his first 3 years as a starter, and now he looks like ass. So Josh seems lost, like he was before the old OC was fired. Yeah. But here's the thing, right? Dorsey, while Dorsey's offense was high flying and a lot of trickeration, right? You know, a lot of passing, not so much running the ball. You know, it's getting warm in this thing. Miss you, buddy. Dorsey didn't like to run the ball a lot, and he passed it a lot, and so we lived and died by that sword. Joe Brady is the exact opposite of that, right? He likes to run the ball. Passing is secondary. All right, so when we got Brady, we were all like, yeah, we're going to have a balanced offense. No, we don't. No, the hell we don't. We don't have a balanced offense because we don't. We run the ball way more than we pass it most of the time. Today we didn't because we had to throw it because we were in a hole. Because our O-line stunk today. And the play calling stunk today. But it seems, here's the thing, Josh might be freaking bored in this offense. Tell me it's not boring as shit. It's boring. It's boring. Right now, the offense is boring as hell. Izzy, our offense is one-dimensional and predictable. Brady playbook is off Tecmo Bowl. I won't disagree with that. It's boring. So we effing suck. This team should be ashamed of itself. It should for this week, and then they should kick ass next week. But for right now, yeah, all the shame, live in it. Get better. Use it. I hate being a fan of this team. I feel sick. This ruined my whole freaking day. That's what it is to be a Bills fan and have your team lose, right? If the Dolphins lost today, the Dolphins fans just go back to their jobs, right? Tomorrow, well, it's the Dolphins. They lost. Tomorrow we got to stew in this crap. And Dolphins go say, "Hey, we beat the Bills, though. We got to put a wrench in their machine. We ain't going to the playoffs, but hey, cog in the machine, baby." And we threw a wrench in that shit. And that's where they're at. They're gonna be ecstatic tomorrow, even though their team sucks. We've been that team before during the drought, where we go out there and we knock off a really good team. Like, oh yeah, we beat, Brett Favre. We beat Peyton Manning today. Whoa. And then we went 5-11 or some shit. We've been that team. It sucks, but they're gonna have a happy day tomorrow, and we're not. Props to Bishop and Harrison. Can't speak the same for the rest of the team. So good players that played today. The players that played good today. Excuse me. Max Harrison played good today, except other than the Waddle touchdown. He played well today, and you're gonna give up some touchdowns. You're a rookie. As Jalen Waddle has been in the league for 5 years now. He just got paid. He's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL. You're there to stick with him because you're fast too, but you're going to make some mistakes. It happens. You're a rookie. We expect that from you from time to time, right? Otherwise, great game by Max Harrison. Cole Bishop almost had 3 picks this game. He had 1, but he almost had 3 or 4. He's starting to fly around. Cam Lewis played a good game today. He did. He played a really good game today. The entire defensive line stunk. The linebacker stunk. Trey White had, an old man game. Wasn't great. Wasn't terrible, but also not great. Look at the offensive side of the ball. Who played well? I'd say Keon had a solid day today. Okay? Hear me out. Keon got open today. The ball got delivered to him 3 times accurately. 3. If Josh Allen hits Keon Coleman with that ball on the right side of the field, where I forget who it was, he was the second cornerback after the injury. They put in number 27, and then I think it was number 33 or something, 35. I'm spacing on who he was because he's a rookie. If Josh puts that ball in front of Keon while Keon's running, that's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. And that's like a 60-yard pass. If that is completed, let me go to the numbers here. If Josh hits Keon with that ball, he's over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions, and his average per play is like 40 yards of reception. Yeah. It was hard to watch today, guys. It was hard to watch. See, would like a better OC. I'm with you. I'm not saying anything anybody's saying somebody should be fired. Freaking, if they fired Joe Brady tomorrow and said, "Hey, Cromer, it's you," I'm okay with that. One hell of an offensive line coach for one. And I don't know if I'm far-fetched here, right? But offensive line coach, they're going to do what their offensive lines do best, right? They're gonna work around what their offensive line does best, right? And they're gonna also look at the defense and be like, all right, this defense, their defensive line is really capable of this, that, and third. So we're gonna go away from these strengths, and Cromer might be the next man up, and he's got OC experience calling plays. So this were the 2 highlights. That's it. And that's all. See, 6 catches for a player like Elijah Moore is absolutely insane. How can that happen, Joe Brady? Agreed. We run the ball because his pass concepts absolutely suck. The only good pass plays are JA-17 and Price. That is kind of true. Milano and Bernard, non-existent. That's kind of true, too. Josh doesn't throw deep ball well. That's not true. That's not this year. If you said this year only, I'm with you. But if you don't do it as often, you're not going to get very good at it. You got to do it more often to get better at it. And he's out of practice. See, meanwhile, Mac Hollins got a dime from Drake today from like 50. Also, Mac was open. I see what you're doing there. I don't like it, but I agree. See, glad you said that, brother. I'm great with Cromer. Yeah, Cromer. Look, if tomorrow I got news that they fired Joe Brady, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I'm not. And what do? You roll with the other guy on your offense who's been an offensive coordinator who knows how to draw up blocking schemes to best assist your team in performing your plan, not someone else's plan. You know, like to me, that makes sense. Now, how good is he with passing concepts? Well, that's why you have a quarterbacks and a wide receivers coach, right? Can you introduce some new plays during the season? Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. We've done it before. Cole Beasley did it one year. He brought a pass play from SMU. It was like, hey, this concept here. And they ran it to perfection. The players need more of a say. This ain't it. This ain't it. This was some bullshit. This team needs to be held accountable. These coaches need to be held accountable. And the thing is, for me, I don't think that it's Sean McDermott like that because he basically let Bobby Babich call the defense by himself, from what it appears, the first 6 games, 7 games, right? 6 games. We played 3 since the bye, I think. 2 since the bye. Now I got to look at this here. It's Baltimore, Jets, Dolphins, Saints, then New England, Atlanta. So first 6 games, we played Carolina, KC, and Miami now. So 3 since the bye. Since he took over, or at least began assisting Bobby Babich with the defense has looked better. It just has. So we'll see. See, I want to know Brady was doing good last year. Why does he suck this year? That is a damn good question. Damn good question. I don't know if it's that he sucks or if that is. Hear me out here. I don't think Joe Brady is a bad coach. I don't think he's a bad coordinator. I think he's a young guy who is far too, in the words of Sean McDermott, cute for his own good. Right? He's doing too much, not too little. Right? He's got all these crazy run concepts. This end around here to Elijah Moore that gets stopped for a 2-yard loss, and then he does these little screen plays all the time, and he draws them up in different ways. And so Josh is just throwing the ball here, 4 yards up the field or 2 yards behind the line, and then the receivers are going. He's not using his talent down the field. He's creating basically almost like a veer offense in the NFL. It's like old school Marshall football, but with some more intricate passing concepts. And they're just not working well. But if you look at it, like a lot of the design runs, tosses, sweeps, they're running some zone runs. They're running very little power, right? James Cook's not a big back, so running power requires a little bit more tackle breaking, I think. But they're running a little bit of power, and they're doing that basically once they have a defense exhausted. He needs to do what works and then start figuring out what else works, because it's not conducive to the health and well-being of our quarterback, nor is it conducive to the health and well-being of our receivers, because they're getting hit often as soon as they get the ball. This is not This is not a good offensive scheme, even for the guys we have. Whether you believe that these guys are capable of doing more or not. It's just not. See, regarding the passing, anyone else notice that the only one scrambling around when Josh was scrambling was Kincaid before he got hurt? Everyone else just stops in place. Mahomes seems to madden his fools up as he runs around the back. So I don't know if that's true or not, because the way he got Jackson Hawes that touchdown was that same way, right? The way he got first down with Khalil Shakir was that same way. These guys are moving afterwards, but not all of them are, and I don't think all of them are because they're not all familiar. You see Shakir do it, you see Knox do it, you see Kincaid do it because they've been with Josh for 3 years or more each. Right? They've been here for a while. Elijah Moore doesn't know what the hell to do with Josh Allen, a scramble drill. He doesn't know what to do. Where am I going? Where are you going? What do you want me to do? When Josh does this or that, Shakir, Hawes, or excuse me, Knox, and Kincaid, and apparently Hawes understand, okay, I need to come back to the ball and move in the direction he's saying. He's not saying go left and deep. No, he said come back so we can get this freaking first down and get another go at this. I would personally like to see next week, if possible, because I don't know if Gabe is healthy enough yet. Gabe and Palmer out there. Sit Curtis Samuel's ass down. Put Gabe out there, put Palmer out there. Find someone else to sit down somewhere, but yeah, this wasn't it. See, this was so pathetic, so tired of this foolishness. Brady, very predictable, same plays. If you and I can figure out what the hell the play is before the plays ran, you're right. Too predictable. You're 100% correct. I'm with you. Brady has always been not good. I don't know if that's true, but he's definitely not good now. JA17 has carried both Dable and Brady. Well, Dable's probably going to be available next year. We'll see. Izzy, did you know the Dolphins wanted first-round pick next year and third-round pick 2026, but he offered a first 2027? That was dumb. It's not like it was going – you're right, if that's true. So I don't know how true that is. I didn't see the reports from. But if that's true, yeah. I would give up that first-round pick in a second, especially if let's say you get Waddle, and he's the key to unlocking this offense, and we win a freaking Super Bowl. Then what? That's a 32nd overall pick. That's basically a second-round pick. What do you do? What do you do? I don't know if that's true, but I know it's reportedly, so we are still living in the Dable world offensively. Cromer controls the run game. We forget Brady was the OC at LSU, but he didn't call plays. Get a damn guy on offense. Well, it's too late for this season, but maybe next year somebody becomes available. Maybe one of these offensive-minded head coaches is available, right? And like a Kevin Stefanski. Maybe he comes available and you do that. Maybe you go to the college game and get you one of those head coaches or OCs like the Ravens did with Lamar. Since the Ravens went to Georgia, got their OC, brought him to Baltimore, Lamar's been putting up 40 touchdown passes a year. Just saying, right? And I'm not a Lamar believer at all. But that coach... might be time to look at something like that. I seen it. You seen what, though? You saw a report that said that? Or did you see, like, the text message? Like, did they get leaked or something? Like, I need to know what you saw. Because, I've seen the news, too. The news is wrong all the time. All the time. Sports news, political news, freaking... you name it, the news, the weather. They get that crap wrong all the time. So I didn't know who it was, but if true, I agree with you. Dumb. That's what I heard too. I heard it earlier. Also, what I heard, I heard two stories. I heard one was this one, and I heard that the report. Could you share a link? I'd like to see it. So I heard that, and then the other one I heard was that Brandon Bean and Chris Greer had a deal in place. It was to send a first-round pick and a third-round pick, and then Greer got fired before they could pull the trigger. I heard that. There's been a few things I've heard, but I don't know what's actually true. I don't think any of us will actually ever really know what's true. But again, if that's true, Bean should have given that first-round pick, baby. We do only have 6 picks this year. I don't care. Don't care. In the words of the great Dave DM3 Myers, fuck them picks. Fuck them. We've been doing better with second-round picks anyway. Right? We're 50-50 on first-round picks, kind of. Josh Allen, Tremaine Edmonds, hits. Ed Oliver, pretty good when he's not injured. You know, didn't really get to that elite status till like 4 years into the NFL, but he came along, right? Maxwell Harrison looks like a white mushroom. Like, he smells good, tastes good, feels good. Let's go. That's our boy right there. There's just a thing, for some reason, second and third round, all the way into the fifth round, seem to be their sweet spot. You know? So I don't know if that's true or not, but I'd like to see the report. That'd be great. And you're on Facebook. I think we're Facebook friends. Shoot me that on Messenger if you have it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm highly upset with this loss. We Bills fans, we're starving for a Super Bowl. We want one, right? We deserve one as a fan base. Josh Allen deserves one as the quarterback of this team with how he plays and how he puts himself on the line. The young guys on this team who are playing well, even if they've been here for a little while, like Cam Lewis, you give me guys like that, guys who are putting up real efforts. AJ Epinesa, like AJ Epinesa, I know people sleep on AJ Epinesa so much, right? And I love me some AJ Epinesa, man. That guy plays hard for the Bills. He was a second-round pick. He was like 90th overall. Not 90th. That's the third-round pick. It was like 70th overall, I think it was. And he does what you expect out of a late second-round pick. You know what I'm saying? Like for a late second-round pick, he does what you expect out of that player. He just does. 6.5 sacks a year is what you expect out of a late second-round defensive end. This year so far, he's got 2.5 sacks. He's probably getting to 6. I'm baffled, guys. I'm at a loss for words. You know, like, no, I'm not, because I've been going on about this for an hour and a freaking 15 minutes. I'm not at a loss for words. I have all the goddamn words. All of the fucking words in my vocabulary. And this is all the words. I have them all. I can't believe it, guys. Can't believe it. This loss has gotten me swearing way more than I usually do. And I've been finding God lately, I'll be honest. This loss was the devil. If we lost to the Dolphins, you know, 30-27, I'd be upset. Don't get twisted. I'd still be saying a lot of what I'm saying right now. But at least I can say the offense did their job. No one did their fucking job. No one did their job. If we lost 24-21, I could say just wasn't our day. Saying this wasn't our day is the understatement of the season. And I know teams have suffered worse losses. The Packers. The Packers, for some reason, have lost to, was the Bengals? Or no, the Browns. They lost to the Browns. I'm pulling them up because those guys, in my opinion, are frauds. They lost to the Browns. They lost to the Panthers. Yeah. What the hell are they doing? They're about to lose to the Eagles, but they should lose to the Eagles. But the Panthers and the Browns? You know? Nah, if this was the Hard Knocks effects, we'd be 3-7 or 3-6, not 6-3. There's no excuse for this. This is just the Bills losing to a team that they shouldn't have lost to. This is the Bills overlooking a team, being not prepared enough, being too injured, being too hot, being outcoached, being outplayed. Pick the factors you want to. I don't give a shit. Okay, I don't give a shit. Pick the factors that you want to pick. I don't care. Hard Knocks, that ain't one of them. No. We went out there against Baltimore. We were getting our clocks clean. They were out there and they were like, oh, this is the Bills' clock. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to clean the Bills' clock. And they were doing it. And then we dirtied that shit up again in the fourth quarter and beat that ass. Not today against the Dolphins. Today against the Dolphins, they started cleaning our clock, and they didn't stop that shit until there was nothing left. The hands were gone. The numbers were gone. It was just a piece of metal. So some bullshit today, guys. I hope you guys have a decent Monday. I hope that you guys have enjoyed venting with me because this was some bullshit. Some bullshit. I'll go over the numbers one time, just for humor before I get out of here. But just so y'all know, if you didn't hear the first couple times, some bullshit. Josh Allen, 28-40, 306 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Looks like a good game. QBR, 28.9. That checks out. Passer rating, 98.5. Yeah, okay. Here's where you get the difference between QBR and passer rating. QBR measures the entirety of the play of the quarterback. Passer rating just is a formula that goes over what you did with the ball. So a punter can go out there, throw one ball, and have a perfect passer rating. Tua Tagovailoa, 15 of 21, 173, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. QBR, 61.3. Josh Allen, 28.9. Passer rating, 88.1. Josh Allen, 98.5. You see where those numbers change. Now, I don't always agree with the QBR, but for the most part, it's an accurate assessment. Go down to running. Our best runner, James Cook, 13 for 53, 4.1 per carry, 0 touchdowns, long of 14. Devin Achane, Dolphins' best runner, 22 for 174, 7.9 per carry, 2 touchdowns. His longest run was 59 yards, 4 touchdowns. Our second best runner is Josh Allen. Their second best runner was Jalen Wright. Josh, 4 for 31, 7.8. Their guy, 5 for 17, 3.4 yards per carry. Everybody else running the ball for the Dolphins, trash. Josh and James did pretty decent, I guess. If you agree that 84 yards on 17 carries is pretty good, that's not bad. I'd take it. It's almost 5 yards a carry between the two. Devin Achane, though, murdered him. Receiving, Khalil Shakir, 7 for 58. Coleman, 3 for 46 and a tutty. Kincaid, 2 for 37. Dawson Knox, 3 for 37. Jackson Hawes, 1 for 26. Tyrell Shavers, and a touchdown for Hawes, 1 for 24. Ty Johnson, 2 for 24. James Cook, 5 for 24. We have a whole lot of 24s going on around here. Curtis Samuel, 1 for 21. Elijah Moore, 2 for 9. Ray Davis, 1 for 0. Ray Davis had -2 yards this week. Fumbles, both lost. Josh Allen, James Cook. Dolphins lost 0, recovered 2. Defense. Whatever, man. Jordan Brooks, 12 tackles, 6 solo. Tyrell Dodson, 9, 5 solo. Minka Fitzpatrick, 6, all 6 solo. Jack Jones, 6, 3 solo. Dante Trader Jr., 6, 3 solo. Juju Brents, 5, 5 solo. Tackles for a loss. Let's go to tackles for a loss here. Jordan Brooks, 2. Jack Jones, 2. Zach Sealer, 1. Willie Gay Jr., 1. 6. Sacks. Bradley Chubb, 1. Zach Sealer, 1. Willie Gay Jr., 1. Bills, 0. 0. It's embarrassing, guys. It's embarrassing. Miami fired the GM last week. McDaniels won't get fired this week. He won't get fired till the end of the season. And if he manages to get to the playoffs, if they manage to run this table like Bradley Chubb said he thinks they can do, which they're probably highly unlikely to do, if they do, because it could happen theoretically, he's not getting fired. They'll find a new GM because it's on Chris Greer. It's been on Chris Greer. This is the second head coach he's been through, and you don't fire a head coach based on poor talent acquisition, or at least talent that doesn't fit what that head coach does. You at least get one more year to see. If that doesn't work out, you let the next GM pick the head coach. Bada bing, bada boom. See, thank you, Izzy, for your show. Thank you, Joseph, for being here. Appreciate you. Shit, we smell it too. Bills are done. Nobody to throw to. No secondary. That's not true. We have tight ends to throw to. We just don't use them enough. We have a secondary, but yeah. But guys, that's been my show. The Bills need to do better with their resources, and the coaching is just absolutely atrocious this week. So you guys have a great night. God bless all of you. Sorry for the swearing. I know that it's unbecoming of a Christian man, but it is what it is. You guys have a great week. I know you're not gonna, but try. God bless. Do good. Be good. Go Bills.